Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. Recently, in an offhand comment, I threatened that I might make a video about sonnets. I actually do not want to make a video about sonnets. I don't know much about sonnets beyond what you can pick up readily in many other places than a video from me. And if you want to get more down into the nitty-gritty of what I know, you can look into the sonnets that I have written. I have a video about my 2 books of sonnets. No, I do not want to make a video about sonnets if I can avoid it. I've said that I do not read poetry, but there are exceptions to that, such as when I learn about a poet that is new to me, somebody that I have not heard of. And recently, Aaron at Aaron Facer, a booktube channel, read a poem by Don Paterson, and I liked the poem that he read, and I, looking up this poet, noticed that he had a book of sonnets. So I am always curious to find out what a contemporary is doing with the sonnet form, if I can, and so this is his book, which arrived today, and I will just share a little bit from the book. Let me read you the first poem in this book. It is titled, Here. I must quit sleeping in the afternoon. I do it for my heart, but all too soon my heart has called it off. It does not love me. If it downed tools, there'd soon be nothing of me. Its hammer beat says, you are, not I am. It prints me off here like a telegram. What do I say? How can the lonely word know who has sent it out or who has heard? Long years since I came round in her womb, enough myself to know I was not home. My dear sea up in arms at the wrong shore, and her loud heart like a landlord at the door. Where are we now? What misdemeanor sealed my transfer? Mother, why so far afield? I think it's one of the loveliest poems in this collection. It's a series of couplets, 7 couplets, not really a sonnet. And in this book, Paterson hews to the traditional sonnet form in places, and in other places it seems as if he is trying to explode the form. And I appreciate this kind of experimentation. Some of it I think worthwhile, and other of it not so worthwhile. Regardless, 14 lines in couplets, it is hard for me to imagine how 14 lines of couplets, meaning 7 couplets, can be made into a sonnet. There is at least one. I've read pretty much all of the poems in here, but not in sequence, and so I may have missed something. There is at least one that is a completely unrhymed sonnet. Well, actually, I know there's more than one. And I'm much more comfortable with an unrhymed sonnet than I am with a purported sonnet which is composed of couplets. Let me see if I can share with you something else. Oh, now here's one that I missed. Oh, I completely missed this somehow, and it's a whole prose poem, so I have not read the whole book yet. This one is more closely conventional, titled A Scholar. pro captu lectoris habent sua fata libelli. The light is dying, and the clock has died. The page succumbs to the atrocious care that disinters the things not wholly there, by which your solemn field is justified. You burnish them until they bear the shine of common knowledge, knowing one black skill is yours alone. Before the greater will, all text is dream, and takes on the design of what was sought there. Thus your word is God. This gramarye electrifies the gate. None pass but such as you initiate. The students hurry by you in the quad, attending to their feet. What can you say? You know your Shakespeare would have walked that way. So, to me, that's much more conventional. I would not say it's as lovely as that first poem, but still a very nice poem with a lot of literary allusion, I think. Of course, the last line calling up the poem by Yeats, Lord, what would they say? Did their Catullus walk that way? Or something along those lines. The Latin bit at the top, I don't know what it means. Pro captu lectoris habent sua fata libelli. I'm sure I could put it into a translator. But just to show you what a couple of the poems in the book sound like. Here is the author. He's pretty well near a contemporary of mine. I showed the picture to my partner and she said, oh, I would take that. So I said, yeah, but I've got more sonnets. So I think that settled the issue. Now let me just show you one which is an experiment that I think is just sort of more silly than anything. It's the kind of thing that I did when I was an undergraduate. I saw in the textbook there was such a thing as concrete poetry, and the poem that I did was just the repetition of the word clutter. So 4 stanzas, 4 quatrains indeed, of nothing but the word clutter in a pentameter. So clutter, 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 clutter. It tended to get a laugh by people who saw it, but I moved on from that sort of thing. So that is one of the less successful experiments, but there was one that I liked, and let me see if I can find. Oh yeah, it's called Shutter, and I'm not sure that I can read it exactly as it should be read because it is lacking some punctuation possibly, or it's one long sentence that one short sentence that I am not quite sure how to parse. But you can see how it is, Shutter. And I've always wanted to do this kind of thing. As she slept late below the naked skylight, he lapped her breast, sky blue. Had she blinked at the crow or rook, some 4-square burst of the dark? So he goes all over the place here. This apparently was the winner of the 2015 Costa Poetry Award, or is that Costa? Costa. Don Paterson has written several collections of poems, including Nil Nil, God's Gift to Women, Rain, The Eyes, and Landing Light, which both won the T.S. Eliot Prize and the Whitbread Poetry Award. He lives in Edinburgh. So I just thought I would share this little book. I love this cover, by the way, 40 Sonnets. Thank you for stopping by my channel.